fisheries system is in crisis. And I think we should try to find innovative ways to fix the problem.
We have potentially 250 million people at the risk and the threat of migration because their main livelihood and their source of food has died away.
But small-scale fisheries are a really important part of the picture when you think about the contribution they make to global food security. One has to remember that about 95% of the people who are involved in fishing in the small-scale fishing sector, and that's a sector that produces about half of the fish we catch from the wild. And the people who are involved are the ones for whom food security is really, a very immediate problem. And so in many, many respects, small-scale fisheries have a very, very important role to play, and it's vital that we look after those fisheries and manage them sustainably.
Every time you set up a salmon farm, you're feeding salmon wild-caught fish that are caught, ground up into pellets, and you're converting 4, 5, 6, sometimes 10 pounds of wild fish into 1 pound of farm salmon. The people that would eat those fish that are being ground up into seafood for the pellets for the salmon are often people who are poorer, coastal people. And what's happening, of course, is the fish that they would eat is being ground up and converted into a farm salmon that's being flown north and fed to wealthy people in Europe and the United States and Japan. The oceans are the biggest conservation problem that the world can solve, and get it solved in the next 20 or 30 years.
How much food can we take out from the oceans? In the best case scenario, perhaps 85, 90 million tons, but that's around the limits of what we could realistically expect from the global oceans and fisheries.
The lack of information about the resource base in the Arctic would suggest that we shouldn't begin exploiting it until we have a far better understanding of what's there and how to manage it well. Because if we don't have that, we're going to end up doing what we've done in many other parts of the world. We're going to take too much out of the system, and we're going to manage it to death.
Annually, what we take out of the oceans must be based on scientific recommendations. That marine scientists have to have the first role. They have to do their work and then tell us what the stocks can take. And on the basis of such scientific recommendations, the governments and the parliaments can allocate to the fishing community what they can do.